It is garden day. I'm so excited. This is the second year that I'm having a little patio garden. Last year was my first year trying, and I had some successes and some failures. So this year I've learned a lot. I'm trying some new things. I'm upping my game a little bit. I'm investing more into this, and I'm really hopeful. I joined a Chicago Gardeners Facebook group just to like see what I could learn and like hear from other people that are gardening in Chicago. And it sounds like the kind of gold standard here is that you don't plant outside until after Mother's Day. That is a week from now. I'm not gonna wait. I looked at the forecast. It looks like there is no risk of frost. It is gonna be beautiful this whole week. Some rain, but like temperature wise, totally not gonna be a problem. So my husband and I just spent the morning going to a couple different nurseries and the big box hardware store. And I think I have everything. If not everything, then almost everything. And I cannot wait to get out there and start putting my beds together. So I will take you along, and you'll see my garden all summer long. This is everything we came home with. We went to a garden center and then a big box store, and I got a bunch of edibles as well as flowers. This is a raised bed that I bought earlier this year. I assembled it earlier this spring, and it had just been sitting on my porch. So the first thing I wanted to do was get it filled with soil. I didn't remember how many quarts or gallons or whatever, however they measure. I didn't remember how big the container was. I should have written that down somewhere, but I didn't. So I was really just guessing at how much I needed when I bought soil. And actually I ended up having pretty much just the right amount. Once I started filling the container, I was getting in there with my hands and just making sure I was breaking up all the big clumps, spreading everything out evenly, making sure it was well aerated. And I grabbed another bag just to top it off. This was some soil that I had left over from last year, and it was kind of the perfect amount just to top off this container without having to break into a whole other bag. I bought this bed specifically to plant my tomatoes. Last year I planted 2 plants in that little container you see down below, but I wanted to do 3 plants and actually give them more space in order to grow. So I'm just grabbing my 3 tomato plants that I stuffed into this box from the garden center. This year I decided that I wanted to grow a paste tomato. I ended up going with a Roma variety. This is them right here. This is a really good tomato for cooking, for canning, preserving. So my hope is that maybe I can grow enough that I can make like 1 batch of salsa that I can can. I feel like that would be really awesome. The other varieties I got, one was an heirloom that's a hybrid between a big dwarf and a brandy wine. They're supposed to be pretty hardy to grow and really delicious for fresh slicing. They look amazing. So that's the one in the middle here. And then I'm also just making sure that as I plant these, I'm breaking up the roots a little bit just to help them grow and expand. They can get kind of root bound when they grow in these containers. So I'm just trying my best to help them thrive. These are the things that I've kind of picked up just by watching other people on YouTube, or just kind of, I don't know, learning a little bit as I go. The third tomato I got is called a Sunrise Bumblebee. Honestly, I kind of regret buying this one. I'm recording this voiceover literally just a couple hours after I got everything planted, and I wanted to get something that was kind of fun. So I saw that these were like a gold orange color, and I thought that was gonna be amazing. But then when we got home, actually even after I planted them, I looked up the variety and they're like really little. It sounds like they're kind of gonna be like cherry tomato sized, and I grew some of those last year and I just didn't love them, and I didn't want to do something small again. So I hope that they taste good and they turn out well. I'm sure we'll be happy to eat them no matter what, but that was not my intention. I really was trying to grow just like big old slicing or cooking tomatoes. Honestly, this is more for my reference than for yours. This way I don't have to write down the different varieties that I bought. I have them on record and I can find that information whenever I want to look back on it. Now I'm moving over to my pepper plant. Again, I'm just trying to break up the old soil that was in there from last year. Like I said, this is the container that I grew 2 tomato plants in last year. So after I broke up the soil, I just topped it up with some fresh soil, and then I grabbed my plant and got it planted in the pot. Last year when I was picking what few plants I was gonna plant, I asked my husband, oh, do you think I should plant a pepper? And he was like, we don't really eat peppers. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. We eat peppers all the time. I don't know what we were thinking. So this year I'm just trying one red pepper just for my first year growing them. We'll see how it turns out. I'm really looking forward to eating these fresh, but I also love to chop up peppers and put them in the freezer for future cooking. So hopefully that turns out. Now I'm moving over to my strawberries. This is the one thing that I'm really apprehensive about. I'm really hoping they turn out. I tried one strawberry plant last year and it was a June-bearing strawberry and it never flowered and it never fruited. So I was really bummed about that. This is what I'm trying this year. They are an ever-bearing berry and they've got these like gorgeous pink flowers on them that are already flowering. So I got 2 of these plants this year. I'm just really unsure how they're gonna do. I hope they turn out, but I have no idea if they will. I did get 2 new hanging baskets for them and I got these cocoa liners. This one it kind of looks crazy because I think a bird was pulling it apart to use it for nesting material. That's my fault for leaving them out for like a month, but anyway, it is what it is. After I got the plant in there, I just sort of filled it in with some extra soil to give it a nice solid footing. I really hope I get some strawberries. Ugh, that's all I want, just to like pick a fresh, juicy strawberry right off the vine, bring it into my house and just like eat it fresh or in yogurt, or bake with them. I probably won't have enough to bake with them, but we shall see. I would also love to have blueberries or raspberries or blackberries, something like that, but I know those aren't that hard to grow. Well, I shouldn't say I know they're not hard to grow. I don't think they're that hard to grow from what I've heard, but we just don't really have room for it. I know you can do them in containers, but I'd rather just plant some really beautiful plants for the long term whenever we have the room for it someday. The last edible I'm doing this year is basil. I grew basil last year in addition to a couple other herbs, and I'm just growing more basil this year. I'm gonna do 2 plants. It's something we eat all the time, fresh in the summer, in pasta, in caprese, in bruschetta, just like all sorts of fresh, delicious, herby foods. Ooh, I wonder if I should make like a basil lemonade this year. That sounds good. I just decided to stick with the basil. It's only the basil because of how much we love it and use it. Finally, I moved on to my flowers. I just grabbed a bunch of things that I thought would look pretty together, so I'm sort of spacing them out on the floor to see how I can divide them up. I have 3 balcony boxes, and this year I am doing all 3 of them in flowers. Hopefully it attracts some pollinators, and also I just want it to make the space look really beautiful when I sit out here to enjoy. I don't know much about flowers at all. I know what I like and what I think is pretty, but I don't necessarily know how to grow things, and maybe, I don't know. Here I am, clearly looking confused. Maybe my confusion is evident. I don't know if like I overplanted these boxes. I don't know if there's like too many things that are going to compete. I really don't know. I just sort of tried it out and filled these boxes with flowers that I found beautiful. I'm still a new gardener, but part of what I love about gardening is how beautiful everything looks. I mean, flowers, of course, are beautiful, but I think the edible plants are also really beautiful, and they smell really good. I love watching, like, when a tomato sprouts out of the flower, and you can see it's just this tiny little thing, and then it grows and grows, and then it turns color, and it's just really rewarding. And then of course it's amazing to get to eat the fruits of your labor, to have the opportunity to like consume something so delicious, hopefully, that you put so much energy into growing. Yeah, I mean, it's probably more than I would spend if I was just going to like get a Roma tomato at Aldi, but I don't know, it's just something that I'm really happy to do, to spend time on, to put thought into and love and care into. Yeah, that's probably really corny, but I'm guessing other gardeners feel the same. And like flowers, of course, those are just so beautiful to look at. You can see our balcony view isn't like beautiful. It faces a back alley. We're right near a busy intersection, but it makes me feel like I have this little oasis kind of that's secluded and special and peaceful and beautiful. We're not just looking at power lines running through the alley, but you know, we have this little spot that's just full of beauty, and I find that really special. The last thing I did was just add a bit of mulch to everything. I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm a new gardener, but I'm hoping that it's just gonna be a little bit helpful with moisture retention because this porch does get direct sun all afternoon. So just trying to help minimize evaporation a little bit. Once everything was done, I did try to water everything in really well. I need to figure out a better watering solution, but I'm using a pitcher for now. This is what I did last year. There's a hose in the back area of my building, but it doesn't reach up to my balcony, so I just use a pitcher, and for now, that's what I've got. If you have any suggestions for how I can water up here without a hose, is there some sort of larger, like, receptacle that I can use? I don't know, let me know in the comments if you have an idea. I really look forward to keeping you guys updated on how my garden is growing this year. I'm so thrilled with how everything is starting off. I know this is just the very beginning, but I'm so excited about it. It gave me such an endorphin rush to get things started today. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, that was hot and sweaty. I'm pretty dirty. I do like gardening in my bare hands, even though it's super messy to do that. It just feels so nice to get your hands in the dirt. Everything now is planted and watered, and I did add some mulch to the top of everything just to try to help a little bit with moisture retention. I'm not sure if that's gonna work, but it's worth a try. Now it's kind of just a waiting game to see how everything turns out. I do need to get a couple more tomato cages, and I think I also need a cage for the peppers, the red peppers. If you're a gardener and you know what you're doing, please leave me a comment down below. I will take all tips. Like I said, I am a new gardener. This is my second year with like a little patio garden, and I have dreams that one day when I have a yard, I can have a big garden. We were actually talking about that when we were leaving the stores today, just talking about how cool it would be one day to grow so many things and have so many different items that we can eat fresh from our garden, or things that I can try to preserve. Ugh, that was so wonderful. I was like kind of stressed about it. Honestly, I am kind of stressed. I feel like the garden is just not gonna grow this year. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a new gardener and there's always risk of things not growing, or, you know, I made these different flower boxes and I don't know if I overstuffed them, if there's too many different kinds of plants, I don't know. The strawberries, I'm really hopeful for strawberries. There were plants at the big box store that were already fruiting, and I debated back and forth if I try again just from these starts or if I invest more money into the plants that are already fruiting. And I decided that I was gonna try from starts again this year. So fingers crossed, because I really want fresh strawberries. Again, it would be a dream someday to have just like dozens of strawberry plants and just have so many to eat fresh and bake with and preserve, like to make jams. But we're not there yet. One step at a time, little by little, I will gain the skills and the confidence, and one day, hopefully, we have more land where I can grow my garden. But until then, this is what I've got. I'm really excited about it, and we'll see how it goes. And just one more thing, in case it was not abundantly clear, I do not have freckles. I have dirt all over my face. I love it though, honestly. It feels so good to just like be dirty. I'm gonna go shower off now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and keeping me company while I was getting all this stuff ready today. It was so much fun, and I'm glad that you came along for the journey. If you're new here and you like what you see, or you're not new and you've been liking my videos, please don't forget to subscribe. It really does help my channel grow and reach more people, and that is what I'm hoping to do. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below if you have any gardening tips for me whatsoever. Container gardening, raised beds, like whatever it is, I wanna know any and all feedback. It is so helpful for a new gardener like me. And thanks again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.